A fellow of the Nigeria Academy of Science has thrown his weight behind a proposed bill at the National Assembly seeking to mandate any Nigeria-trained medical or dental practitioner to practice in Nigeria for a minimum of 5 years before being granted a full license by the council to practice abroad. Professor Adeshegun Fatusi, the Vice Chancellor of University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED Ondo, who spoke with Osrc, affirmed that the bill is for the benefit of all. Omoshidola Adesoye Ajayi now reports.
Statistics have shown that Nigeria produces 4,000 doctors annually but could only retain 30% of that number in the country. At present, findings revealed that only 24,000 licensed medical doctors are available in the country, a number far less than 10% of the World Health Organization's recommendation. And in a bid to stop the trend, the House of Representatives has proposed a bill for a law to mandate any Nigeria-trained medical or dental practitioner to practice in the country for a minimum of 5 years before being granted a full license by the council to practice abroad. The bill, which has scaled through second reading at the National Assembly, has generated a lot of controversies. While some commended the move, others berated the lawmakers for raising such a bill. According to the Vice Chancellor, University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, Ondo, Professor Adeshegun Fatusi, the move will ensure availability of adequate medical services for Nigerians.
It's a desperate solution to a desperate problem. The problem we are in is very desperate. We are losing doctors, nurses at such a fast rate that if we don't do something about it drastically, it's like being in a state of war. In a state of war, you can't talk about civil liberty all the way. You have to balance liberty with the objective of the societal survivor. So to ask that people must serve the country for 5 years and they are not doing it for free, we're going to be paid. For me, I think it's a fair consideration.
While comparing the fees paid in foreign universities with their Nigerian counterparts, Professor Fatusi appealed to doctors in Nigeria to reciprocate government's gesture by tarring a bit before seeking greener pastures overseas.
These are people who are literally trained free of charge by the country. So to ask to pay back, for me, makes a lot of sense. And the government can make it such that the government can quantify what it takes to train a medical doctor and give you the permission to say, look, okay, I don't want to stay 5 years, I only stay 1 year. I'll pay you back for 4 years. Fair deal. But I think that to fold our hands, what is happening is to be irresponsible.
On the status of UNIMED, the VC said the tertiary institution has gone beyond ordinary university but now a signature of all eyes, with the introduction of new courses to raise the bar of the institution among their peers.
There is no Nigerian university with a BSc program today in speech therapy. But we are glad that UNIMED is bringing that one. It's one of the 7 new courses we are bringing on. In our postgraduate program, we are also beginning to bring on this year a PhD program for doctors in the area of clinical sciences. That is something you find in less than 3 universities in Nigeria. So we are glad that we have continued to lead the pack and show the way forward in Nigeria health education professionals landscape.
He informed that the first set of medical students of the institution are now qualified doctors.
That makes us, in the last 15-20 years, the first school to have produced doctors at the fastest rate in this country. We are proud that with the support of the state government, the investment in UNIMED, we have been able to accomplish this feat of producing our medical doctors within just about the right time.
The Dawn, however, tasked all stakeholders to support the new administration in the country to succeed in its vision for education and health sectors. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
Selected farmers in Ondo State have been trained by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development on cassava production climate resilience practice at the training and empowerment of the cassava farmers as well as farm extension agents in the southwest. Ondo State Commissioner for Agriculture and Forestry, Olayato Aribo, said governments will not relent in boosting the agricultural sector by taking necessary steps to improve food sufficiency and security in the state. Joy Pius reports that the Ondo State government is partnering Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to boost cassava production in the state.
Cassava is an important tropical root crop which grows in almost all the states in Nigeria. It is processed to several food forms, among which are gari and fufu, and also used as animal feed and starch. Nigeria currently holds the record as the largest producer of cassava in the world, hence the need to maintain its production. To this end, cassava farmers converged on the Ministry of Agriculture, Akure, for the training and demonstration of climate-resilient practice in cassava production, organized by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in partnership with the Ondo State government. Declaring the training open, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Forestry, Mr. Olayato Aribo, represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mr. Edward Ogumola, reiterated government's commitment towards the improvement of agriculture in the state, calling on all participants to key into the opportunity.
When they are taught the various method of how they go by their production, they go by increasing their productivity, developing the output of the state, we also improve. We join them to listen attentively to the lectures so that they can benefit maximally.
The representative of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Oluwaseyi Akeredolu, said the training is designed to build the capacity of farmers in climate change and adaptation to improve production, adding that it is expected to increase productivity and to promote small, medium and large-scale commercial production of cassava using improved high-yielding varieties.
Most of them, they don't have the knowledge, the period or time, the weather condition in their product. They don't have the knowledge that this weather condition can really affect their crop, the time they can plant, and when there is a change in condition of weather, what they can do. So the federal government now thought of it on educating them, so that by the time they plant their crops, they will be able to have a good yield.
Mr. Gbenga Olorunfemi took the farmers on a technical session as they were taught on new farming techniques of cultivating cassava to increase its production, after which they proceeded for field demonstration. Participants in the program are thankful for the opportunity accorded them.
It's going to help us because we are going to train our farmers in other local governments, and we are going to let them the new varieties of cassava that is out that will produce more yield than the others we are using before.
We are to explain this training to go to the field to train the other farmers how they can improve in the new varieties of cassava, and as they are improving, the yield will be increased, and through the increasing of the yield, there will be more income in their farming activities, and it will make cassava planting to be more lucrative to our farmers.
Cassava is important not just as a food crop, but also as a major source of income. Therefore, participants are expected to maximize the training in order to improve cassava production in the state. Joy Pius, OSLC News.
As the word marks the 2023 World No Tobacco Day, experts have suggested alternative farming to the growing of tobacco in society. They said the health and environmental implications of tobacco farming is far more than its benefits, hence the need for government intervention to enhance healthy living. Omoriola Ugbeji has details.
We need food, no tobacco, is the theme for 2023 World No Tobacco Day, which is geared towards raising awareness about alternative crop production and marketing opportunities for tobacco farmers. This will also encourage them to grow sustainable and nutritious crops so as to contribute to the global food sufficiency. According to research, tobacco-growing countries often face a negative economic impact due to the adverse health, environmental, and social impacts, especially in African countries where large portions of their fertile land are being used to grow tobacco rather than healthy crops. This, they said, causes ill health among farmers and irreversible environmental loss of precious resources such as water sources, forests, plants, and animal species. A medical expert, Dr. Michael Ojo, sheds more light into the health implication of tobacco intake on human system.
The fuels it produces, has effects on the lungs, and at the end of the day, is connected with cancer of the lungs. That's why government everywhere usually asks those who produce them on it, that it has effect on your health. So that when you are taking it, you know that you know what you are taking.
A professor of agricultural economics at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Taiwo Amos, wants government to educate farmers more on farming process to ensure food sufficiency.
If a crop must grow, it will take nutrients from the ground. That's for sure. Except for the crops we call the leguminous crop. The leguminous crops, when you grow them, they will rather return nitrogen that the plants need to manufacture their food, quote unquote, now in layman's language. So thereby enriching the soil. But tobacco does not do that. Tobacco is taking the nutrient from the soil, unlike the legumes that we supply some nutrient into the soil, especially nitrogen. What we are saying is that government should put in place policy for adequate information for the small-scale farmers, that they will not just leave the farmers to do whatever they think is okay for them.
Senior Special Assistant to Ondo State Governor on Agri and Agribusiness, Akin Olotu, speaks on efforts of the state government in encouraging alternative farming to tobacco production. He added that about 85 hectares of land has so far been allocated to farmers across the 3 senatorial districts of the state.
In Ondo State, there is zero support for cultivation of tobacco. Zero support for cultivation of tobacco. So we are still talking about food insecurity. This is 84,971 hectares, approximately 85,000 hectares. 1,000 hectares. An hectare is 2.5 acres. Number 2, we bought tractors so as to remove the drudgery or to reduce the drudgery associated with tillage of this land manually. We bought top quality tractors, which the government gave out a 30% subsidy and repayment spread over 4 years.
Meanwhile, the 2023 theme for this World No Tobacco Day is calling on government and policymakers to come up with strategies that will promote alternatives to tobacco farming for healthy living. Omoriola Hungwiji, Osrc News.
No fewer than 63 bills have been passed into law by the 9th Assembly in Ondo State. The Chairman House Committee on Information, Youth and Sports Development, Benga Omole, informed that the bills have in no small measures contributed to the development of Ondo State in those 4 years. House of Assembly correspondent Omoshidola Adesoye Ajayi now reports.
The third media chat and the last affords the 9th Assembly lawmakers to give accounts of their stewardship for the people of Ondo State. While declaring the valedictory chat with journalists open, the speaker Bamidele Oleyelogun, represented by his deputy Samuel Aderoboye, commended the journalists for the level of professionalism they display in dealing with the Ninth Assembly. During interaction, the chairman House Committee on Information, Youth and Sports Development, Olubenga Omoli, said the Ninth Assembly has passed into law over 60 bills which have in no small measures contributed to the socio-economic growth and development of Ondo State.
As lawmakers representing our various constituencies, we are duty-bound to carry out our statutory legislative activities which are on a tripod of lawmaking, representation and oversight function. Gentlemen of the press, it will interest you to note that the House has passed well over 63 bills. There will have been more than this, but some are different categories. Some are in first reading, some have been committed to committee, some are in second reading. But the one that has been passed into laws are 63 in the last 4 years. Some of the bills have no doubt given support and comfort to the people of Ondo State.
The Assembly's spokesman appreciated the people of the state for their unalloyed support for the 9th Assembly and urged them to extend such support to the 10th Assembly for more development in the state.
The robust relationship between us is second none to the peace we are enjoying today in the Yalo Chamber. I want to appreciate the governor of Ondo State, SANCON, for his various landmark achievements in the state. Using his political will and passion for development has no doubt contributed in no small measure to encourage us in recording and consummating all these goals. Today, the Assembly complex is wearing a new look, and we are proud that the total overhaul of the complex took place during our time.
The 26th 9th Assembly lawmakers who assumed office in June 2019 have few more days to go as the people of Ondo State await the assumption of the 10th Assembly legislators. Omoshiliola, Adesori Ajayi, Osrc News.
Former Minister of State for Transportation, Prince Ademola Adegoroye, says the decision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to announce the removal of subsidy on petroleum was a courageous step taken in the best interest of the country. Adegoroye, in a statement, said Nigerians should rest assured that the Tinubu administration will alleviate the sufferings of the masses by implementing policies that will cushion the effects of the subsidy removal. He said President Bola Tinubu has demonstrated his sincerity and forthrightness to move Nigeria forward. The minister assured Nigerians that the Bola Tinubu administration is a government that cares for the welfare, and as such, the president will shortly take well-considered measures to alleviate the suffering of Nigerians arising from the no-subsidy regime. A student of Ogbe High School in Oda Town, Agnes Joseph, has emerged the winner of the inaugural Seats for Change Secondary School speech contest organized by Barry Calbot Group. According to the group's sustainability operation manager, Mr. Mojid Oniyide, the speech contest is a platform to talk and involve future leaders in solutions to issues affecting cocoa farmers, particularly in the area of climate change. OSRC's Zaid Aribisala reports that 10 students from 5 selected schools in rural and urban centers in Ondo State participated at the event.
Daily activities of man is putting increasing pressure on the environment, leaving carbon footprint behind and influencing climate change. The effect is felt virtually across all facets of life among young Nigerians towards environmental friendly activities in order to safeguard agriculture, particularly cocoa farming. This group, Barry Calibot, organized a program tagged Seeds for Change Speech Contest. The group's sustainability operation manager, Mr. Mujib Oniyide, said the platform is designed to allow future leaders to be solution-oriented in addressing climate change impact.
To enlighten our children about some of the challenges the farmers are facing and how from this young age of theirs they can start, thinking of solution to support the farmers. We have some of the challenges facing the farmers, like the farm inputs, the climate change, our produce, reducing all the time. Also, with this one, we want the children also to see it as a challenge for them, so that in the future they can also prefer, technological solutions. Even some of them might become farmers, some of them might become lawyers that will be formulating policies that will be supporting the farmers in the future. It's well understood that there are so many other countries ahead of Nigeria in terms of cocoa produce, but the earlier we tackle this, the earlier we take our children along, the earlier we let them understand some of the challenges that they're having, the better for us.
The participants for the speech contest are students drawn from 5 schools in rural communities and urban centers in Ondo State. With 2 representatives from each school, the contestants marshaled their points on topics like the future of our cocoa and our planet, and my part in shaping sustainable cocoa in Nigeria.
To encourage cocoa farmers to source their planting things from quality places.
At the end of 2-round contest, a student of Ogbe High School in Oda Town, Agnes Joseph, finished first with the first runner-up, also from the same school, while a representative of Aquinas College took 3rd position.
When my principal brought the information to us that we are going to a speech on cocoa, and that cocoa is very, very vital in our environment, so I learned that I being the daughter of a cocoa farmer is a great opportunity for me. So it shouldn't be a shame for me to say I am a cocoa farmer daughter.
Passion was there, and I got a lot of inspiration for so many people. So it has really helped me a lot to build my self-confidence.
I've learned our collective roles in promoting a sustainable growth and yield of cocoa in our society.
Aside the battle for honors, the students described the program as an eye-opener to the potential in agriculture and the need for collective effort.
I also talked about how we can improve the future of our cocoa by putting an end to deforestation, promoting sustainable soil fertility management and others.
Youth involvement in cocoa is relatively low because most youth prefers to be motorcyclists than to be a cocoa farmer. Most of their beliefs are that when you are a cocoa farmer, you are poor.
I would like to be a farmer with what I have learned in this because it's impressed me.
It's my first time coming to competition like this.
For the organizer, hundreds of trees will be distributed to some of the participating schools for planting, while also ensuring that the students take responsibility and be models for others in addressing climate change issues. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
Ahead of the June inauguration of the members-elect of the 10th Ondo State House of Assembly, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has again assured the incoming lawmakers that he will not interfere in its business. Akeredolu, who stated this in Owo at a 2-day induction organized for the 26 members-elect of the 10th Assembly, said his administration holds respects the principle of separation of powers. He said against the backdrop of an independent assembly, the 10th Assembly lawmakers would be expected to legislate properly and effectively with a view to promoting good governance and development for the overall benefit of the people. Governor Akeredolu charged the lawmakers-elect to see themselves as trustees of the entire state, noting that the decision of their constituents to elect them as representatives is a big testimony of the confidence reposed in them. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Lucky Ayedatiwa, described the legislature as the engine room of democracy, hence his administration's robust relationship with the outgoing 9th Assembly. Paying adequate attention to one's health through regular checkups will help one to live a healthy life. These were the words of members of the National Association of Women Journalists NAWOJ Ondo State Chapter in Akure, the state capital. OSRC's Omoshilola Adesoye Ajayi reports that female officers of paramilitary agencies also add their say. Her reports.
According to Sir Winston Churchill, healthy citizens are the greatest asset any country can have, and he who has good health has everything. It is in line with this that National Association of Women Journalists organized a workshop on health for women in Ondo State. The one-day workshop was to sensitize women on the need to create time for themselves after daily hustling and bustling and to avoid unnecessary physical, emotional and psychological stress which could raise their blood pressure.
When there is no mental health, there is no health.
The acting chairperson of the association, Tola Gbadamoshi, urged women to take good care of their health, particularly as old age approaches, in order to garner enough strength to meet the challenges ahead of them and sustain their homes.
Every woman is the center of every community, especially when it goes down to the children, the husband, the job, and straight down to the community. So them to be able to be impacting positive attributes to the community. And for that reason, we have brought this program. Ondo Award has brought this program together to ensure that we recognize, we as women, we stand for to recognize everything that we need to know. By the time they recognize it, they will be able to handle it and tackle it.
In her remarks, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Dr. Adebumi Oshadaun, charged the female folk to take their health as a matter of priority and always remember their place in society.
If Nigeria will ever be developed as a developed country, women that greater half or equal half must be healthy.
While commending Nawaj for the initiative, the Commissioner called for men inclusion in such program. Also, the chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Ondo State Council, Prince Leke Adegbite, urged the women not to take the issue of their health for granted.
And leave our head. We should not overdo the work we are doing and leave our family. Like we all know that without the women, there will not be nation. Women are the heartbeat of any society.
Participants lauded Nawaj's initiative and asked that the association make it a routine event. Omoshidiola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
And that's Sunshine Reports. Many thanks for watching. Good afternoon.